What up, y'all? Chilling in Saffron with my cappuccino and this hot guy. D figured now was as good a time as any for us to tell you guys what happened yesterday. You need more juice?
Yeah.
Okay.
Want some?
No, I'm okay. Okay, so you guys heard me just kind of like low-key just like slowly freak out about stuff, but I didn't really tell any of the stories. So Wednesday morning, I woke up at like 6:30 to an email from our driver in Dubai. And he was like, hey, what's your new itinerary for your new flights since Qatar is having political issues and they can't fly in the UAE? I'm sorry, what? I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. And he was like, yeah, Qatar Airways can't fly here. There's political drama. So I Googled it, of course, just to make sure nobody was getting blown up, because if that's the case, we ain't coming no way. So I looked it up, and apparently Saudi Arabia, Egypt, the UAE, and like a couple other places don't like how Qatar handles their Islamic terrorists. So they decided that they weren't going to be friends anymore. So they're not doing business, and Qatar Airways is not allowed to fly into all those countries' airspace. We had 2 Qatar Airways flights. So like we're supposed to fly like American or something to Dallas and then fly Qatar Airways to somewhere else, to Doha for 14 hours and then from Doha to Dubai. So I spent 3 hours on the phone with Expedia getting our flights switched around, and everything was all crazy. So that's why we had to leave Wednesday night. Well, we left at midnight. So I get everything situated, we're good. We pack, we're pushing it like we always do. We get to the airport with like 50 minutes before our plane takes off. We get up there, get our passports ready, good. Let's check in, let's get it done. Homegirl was like, yeah, you're not on my list. Like your list to get on this airplane that leaves in 50 minutes? That list? I'm not on that list? Okay, then. So I'm freaking out, having a small panic attack. Call Expedia, get somebody who barely speaks English, so I had to deal with all of that. Then they transferred me to Qatar Airways, nothing's working out. Long story short with that, thank God my husband works hard, and God, make sure we have income, and we ended up paying a decent amount of money for our flight to New York because our other flights were showing up. She was like, I see you guys on a flight from JFK to London and from London to Dubai, and that wasn't even on her airline. We flew British Airways for those other 2 flights. How, Sway? How could you see every other flight that doesn't have anything to do with you? Pissed off, mad. Qatar Airways is like, we're gonna have to send you an email. D was like, forget it, we're just gonna pay for it. Cool, so we paid for it, had to run. Did you hear me? I had to run, and I ran like for real to get on the stupid airplane. So we get on the airplane, cool. We get to New York, and we gotta start over because we flew a different airline. So we gotta go to baggage claim, get our bags, and then go check in again at British Airways. We usually fly into LaGuardia, so we don't know JFK, so that was an adventure, but we figured it out. Get to British Airways, boom, passports, check in, let's get on this plane. We out to London. Where are your visas? I'm sorry, what? Your visa? I don't know what you're talking about, fam. I have a passport, and I have a passport card. I don't have a visa. He's like, oh, you're not going to Dubai then? Like, I'm sorry.
Sorry about you said it too.
I'm sorry, what? Like, I mean, just like cold-blooded. Like, guess you're not going anywhere. Excuse me? Well, you can't just go into other countries without a visa. You can't just take your passport and go somewhere. Like, I'm an idiot, right? Like, that's just not protocol. Like, people, like normal people, don't think that you get a passport and then you travel. Like, that's life, okay? So then, like, an annoying lady next to him who has nothing to do with this conversation starts chiming in like, you thought you could just go to another country without a visa? Excuse you? I'm gonna kill you all. Now, what's awesome about my husband and I and why we work is because we complement each other very well. Because I'm ready to fly over the counter and act unsaved, so I have to walk away. He stands and he talks to the stupid people and tries to figure things out, which is how stuff gets done. Because I'm like, after like meeting resistance or somebody talking to me like I'm stupid, it's a wrap. Because I don't want to say something that I regret. Like, I'm saved, but I have an attitude. So, I'm like, I can't deal with you right now. And I told the lady, I was like, okay, I don't like how you're talking. Like, right now, like, I need you to, like, stop. Like, can tell us what we do.
She's not exaggerating either. It was hard for me. I'm used to dealing with stupid people talking to me crazy, but them, they were annoying. Yeah, she's not being a girl about it. She ain't exaggerating.
So, yeah. And she wanted to, like, make the face like, oh, I don't realize that I'm being a jerk. Okay, well now you know, so calm down. So like I'm ready to like call my grandma, because my grandma's been to Dubai and traveled the world. She didn't tell me I need a visa. Y'all know how long I've been researching this trip. We talked about this all year. If I absolutely have to have this to get into the country, I would know about it. But we're just retarded, and so that's just how they kept talking to us. So then dude goes and like talks to somebody else and comes back, and she's running her mouth while he's while she's on Google. Well, I'm gonna Google it real quick. How you gonna tell me it's what it is, but you gotta Google it? I don't understand. Because I Googled it and I showed D. I was like, it says if you've had your passport for 6 months, you don't need it, which made me feel like this isn't a policy. Like this can't be real. Doesn't make any sense. So dude comes back and he's like, okay, you guys are good. You can get it when you get there. Now the lady's telling us, D's like, well, how much is it? She's like, well, it's about as expensive as those seats or whatever, making it seem like we're just broke little black kids that can't afford the nest if we wanted the nest, and we don't have enough money to buy visas. Like, y'all don't even know. Nothing makes, and then it's funny, just fun fact, and I'm sure we've told you guys this before, but for you people, D and I, if we're gonna go buy something, we'll go just like this. Say something stupid so I can walk out. It's like, I be waiting. Because I've had that happen to me before. I've gotten pretty women in a couple stores, so not for being a hoe, but just for being black and trying to shop. Just assume they don't have money. People are like, it's 2017, it's not like that no more. Bet. People are stupid and very, very ignorant. So that had me irritated. So whatever, they tell us we can get a visa on arrival. Cool. Now, when we asked the dude how much it cost, he was like, oh, 50, 60 bucks, not a big deal. Homegirl who was just telling us it costs a bunch of money chimes in like, oh yeah, it's not bad. Girl, bye. Okay, whatever. So we get on the plane, we make it to London. We're in London. I'm like, all right, I can't even get excited because my whole time getting here just hasn't worked. We make it to London. Finding something to eat in London, I don't know if it's because they assume that they like feed you really good on like those international flights or whatever, but like there was no food in the airport. Like we ended up at Starbucks, and I didn't even take a picture of my venti cup. The venti cup in London is the size of a grande cup in America. Like, what is that? This is not a venti. This is not 20 ounces of liquid. I don't understand. So we eat, we go to the bathroom. D went after I did, so I'm waiting for him at the gate. This baby, she's a huge baby, starts screaming bloody murder. I mean, at the top of her, there's like, do your best loud screaming baby impression. That's what she sounded like. And she was getting on our flight. So now I'm terrified. We get on, she sits right in front of us. Then we got loud screaming baby over here, loud screaming baby over here. Now this is our final stretch, our last flight to Dubai. So now I'm scared that we're gonna end up like Tom Hanks on the terminal and just be stuck in the airport if what they said is right and the visa situation's crazy, but there's people directing you where to go, but where they're telling us to go is contradicting where the signs were telling us to go. So D like stopped and like asked a lady, he was like, yeah, we're trying to get to baggage claim. What'd she say, babe? Just like that. Thanks. We'll go up. So we get up, we get out. Before we can even get to baggage claim, we see visa holders and then visa on arrival. We get in line. There's like a bunch of homies that look like they live on the south side, got like tapered beards and everything, and then they have on like the white outfits with like the black headband on it, and they're all chilling at the counter and whatnot. We get up there, they tell us what number to stand on. We're like, okay, cool, we can get our visas on arrival, we got this, no problem. Give them our passports. D's looking like, okay, so we gotta go like up the street and like get our visa. No, you don't need one. I'm sorry, what? You don't need one, you just need this stamp. You can stay here for a month. D was like, okay, I can leave, like I'm not gonna leave and like get arrested, like I'm good, I just need this stamp. Yeah, you don't need a visa. We would have missed our flight off the strength of what those people had to say. Y'all would have saw me on the news, I promise. I'd have been on the news. Y'all have been like, yo, it's a shame how Mrs. iMAV wild out on CNN. Like, it would have been a wrap, let me tell you. Because it's not like we had a lot of time. Our layovers were what, less than 2 hours? So it's like when you're at an airport that you it's not the Albuquerque Sunport, 2 hours ain't much. So
missed the first one too.
yeah, we almost missed our first flight dealing with that stuff. So praise God that we had the money for that, and praise God my husband didn't just concede defeat and we dealt with these stupid people. But we don't need a visa at all to be here. So if anybody ever tells you that, you make sure you argue with them, because that's a lie. You don't need a visa to be in Dubai coming from the United States. We stamped our passport and we went on our merry way.